In the dense nebula of Sector Z9, far beyond the fringes of the United Earth Coalition's territory, a lone salvage ship, the Nebula Wanderer, drifted near the remains of what appeared to be an ancient alien cruiser. Its pilot, Captain Jack Harkin, a rugged explorer with years of deep space missions under his belt, had encountered many strange and wonderful things in the cosmos, but nothing had prepared him for what he was about to find. As Jack piloted his craft closer to the debris, his sensors picked up an unexpected energy signature emanating from within the cruiser's shattered hull. Curiosity piqued, he donned his spacesuit, activated his magnetic boots, and ventured into the wreckage. The air was thick with cosmic dust, and eerie lights flickered from the cruiser's remaining power lines. Deep inside the cruiser, Jack came across a stasis pod unlike any technology he had seen before. Intricate carvings adorned its surface, glowing faintly with a pulsating blue light. He scanned the pod with his handheld device. It was still operational and contained a life form. Jack's heart raced as the life form inside was clearly not human. The scanner identified it as Altarian, a species believed to be extinct. The pod's life support systems were failing. Without thinking twice, Jack interfaced his device with the pod's ancient system, working quickly to reroute the power from his suit's battery. The pod hissed open, revealing its occupant, an alien girl with luminous skin that shimmered like the starlit sky, and eyes that glowed with the light of her people's dying stars. She gasped for breath, her eyes wide with confusion and fear. Jack, realizing she might be frightened and unable to understand him, raised his hands in a universal gesture of peace. "It's okay. I'm here to help you." He spoke gently, hoping his tone would convey his intent. The alien girl looked up at him, her expression shifting to one of relief. She spoke in a melodic voice. "Thank you, human. I am Alara of Altair. I feared I was the last of my kind." As Alara regained her strength, she explained that her ship was attacked by scavengers, and she was the only survivor, escaping in the stasis pod. She had been adrift, her pod damaged and lost among the stars, until Jack found her. Jack was fascinated by Alara and her story. He offered to take her to a nearby space station, but as they prepared to leave the cruiser, Alara's demeanor changed. She hesitated, her voice quivering as she revealed more of her predicament. "Jack, there is something important you must know," Alara began, her glowing eyes earnest. "My people were custodians of a powerful technology that could alter the balance of power in the universe. It's why we were attacked. But there's more. To ensure the survival of my people and their knowledge, the stasis pod was designed to seek out a compatible life form to aid in my revival and ensure our lineage continues." Jack's mind reeled. "Are you saying—" Alara nodded solemnly. "Yes, my revival process is incomplete. To fully recover and secure my people's legacy, I must form a bond with a compatible mate. The pod systems have determined that you are that mate, Jack." Stunned by the revelation, Jack stared at the alien girl who looked back at him with a mixture of hope and desperation. The weight of destiny fell upon his shoulders, a destiny that intertwined his future with that of an alien race. As the Nebula Wanderer set course away from the debris, Jack knew his life would never be the same again. In the vast expanse of space, with a new companion and a profound responsibility, the adventure was just beginning. As the Nebula Wanderer cruised through the starlit abyss, Jack struggled to wrap his mind around his unexpected fate. He found himself not only a savior, but now a pivotal figure in an alien legacy. Alara, sensing his inner turmoil, approached him cautiously. "You carry a great burden, Jack. I understand this was not a choice, but destiny often cares little for our personal desires," Alara said, her voice a soothing melody in the quiet of the ship. Jack sighed, turning to face her. "It's not just about me, Alara. There's a whole universe out there with its own balance. What happens when word gets out? You said it yourself, your technology could change everything." Alara walked over to the ship's console and brought up a holographic star map, pointing to a distant sector. "My people's technology is hidden in a vault on Tethys 4, a planet in uncharted territory. If we can secure it, we can protect it from falling into the wrong hands." As they plotted their course, An alarm blared suddenly. The ship's sensors detected an incoming craft, unknown and fast approaching. Jack's instincts kicked in. He maneuvered the Nebula Wanderer into a nebula cloud, hoping to cloak their presence. The alien craft, sleek and aggressive-looking, passed by, scanners active and searching. That was a Zaltrak scout. Mercenaries, Jack muttered, eyes glued to the radar. Looks like they haven't picked up on us yet. Alara looked worried. Zaltraks are relentless. If they are after the technology, they will stop at nothing. Jack nodded, plotting a stealth route through the nebula. We'll have to be smarter. This isn't just about survival anymore, it's about securing your legacy. The journey through the nebula was tense, with Jack navigating through cosmic dust and electromagnetic anomalies. Alara assisted, her knowledge of ancient star maps proving invaluable. Together, they managed to evade further encounters with Zaltrak scouts, emerging from the nebula near the outskirts of Teus 4. The planet was a sight to behold, with swirling blue oceans and vast green continents. However, the serenity of the planet was deceptive. Jack knew that the challenges ahead on Teus 4 would test them to their limits. They landed in a secluded area near the coordinates Alara had provided. The terrain was rugged, covered with dense forests and towering mountains. As they prepared to disembark, Jack checked his equipment, weapons, supplies, and a portable tech scanner. Alara equipped herself with a device that resembled a gauntlet. This is a relic of the Altair. It can manipulate gravitational fields. It might come in handy, she explained. Jack nodded, impressed. Let's hope it won't come to that. But if it does, we're ready. Stepping out into the alien world, the air was crisp, the gravity slightly lighter than Earth's. They moved cautiously, aware that the planet might be under surveillance by Zaltraks or other scavengers drawn by legends of hidden technologies. As they ventured deeper into the forest, the reality of their intertwined destinies grew clearer. They were not just allies by circumstance, but partners in a quest that bridged species and stardom. With each step, Jack felt the weight of history and the spark of a new beginning, knowing the path they had chosen was fraught with peril, yet essential for a hope that transcended their individual lives. The dense canopy of Teus 4 filtered the sunlight into a perpetual twilight, casting long shadows that seemed to whisper secrets of ancient times. Jack and Alara navigated the treacherous terrain, their senses heightened to every rustle and distant cry of the alien wildlife. Suddenly, a low growl echoed through the trees. Jack signaled for silence, his hand reaching for the blaster at his side. Alara's eyes narrowed, scanning the underbrush. A pair of luminescent eyes appeared, reflecting the scant light. A predator of Teus, stalking them. With a swift motion, Alara activated her gauntlet, emitting a subtle pulse. The creature hesitated, its head tilting in confusion, then retreated into the darkness. The relic can emit vibrations that disrupt neural pathways momentarily, she whispered, her gaze following the predator's retreat. They continued, reaching a clearing where the ruins of an ancient Altarian outpost lay hidden by overgrowth. The structures were geometric, their surfaces smooth and partially covered with moss and creeping vines. Jack used his scanner, the device beeping softly as it detected residual energy signatures. This was a research facility. My ancestors studied the flora and fauna, developing technologies in harmony with nature, Alara explained, her hand gliding over the carvings that depicted various species of the planet. As they explored the ruins, Jack stumbled upon a concealed entrance leading underground. The door was sealed, but with Alara's knowledge and his tools, they managed to open it, revealing a downward spiraling staircase engulfed in darkness. They descended into the depths, the air growing cooler as they moved. The walls were lined with bioluminescent algae, casting a soft glow that guided their path. At the bottom, they found a vast chamber, its center dominated by a large crystalline structure, the vault. Alara approached the vault cautiously, her gauntlet glowing brighter as she interfaced with the technology. The vault is protected by a bioenergetic field. Only a direct descendant of Altair can open it without triggering the defensive systems. As the vault opened, revealing its contents, they were awestruck by the sight of various artifacts and data modules, preserved and awaiting their rightful heir. Jack watched as Alara carefully examined each item, her expression one of reverence and determination. Their moment of triumph was short-lived, however. The ground trembled, and distant explosions sounded above. The Zaltrax had found them. "They must have tracked us when we opened the vault," Jack said, his voice tense. With no time to lose, they began transferring the most critical items into their portable storage units. Alara sealed the vault once more, leaving false signals to mislead any who might follow. As they ascended back to the surface, the sounds of battle grew louder. They emerged to find their ship under attack, a Zaltrax raider firing upon the Nebula Wanderer. Jack and Alara exchanged a determined look, knowing their escape would not be easy. Using the dense forest as cover, they launched a counterattack. Alara's gauntlet proved invaluable, disrupting the raiders' targeting systems and giving Jack the chance to land a series of precise shots. The raider exploded in a brilliant fireball, scattering debris across the clearing. With the immediate threat neutralized, they hurried back to their ship, damaged but still spaceworthy. As they lifted off from Teus 4, the planet shrinking behind them, they knew the real challenge lay ahead. With the technology secured, they needed to find allies, for the war for the future had just begun. As the Nebula Wanderer limped through space, its hull scarred from the skirmish, Jack and Alara set their sights on the Maelstrom Nebula, a notorious haven for outcasts and rebels. It was a risky move, but their need for allies was desperate. Navigating through asteroid fields and cosmic storms, Jack kept a steady hand on the controls, his mind racing with strategies. Alara monitored the communications channels, searching for any signs of friendly contacts. "Jack, I'm picking up a distress signal. It's weak, but it's there," Alara announced, adjusting the frequency. The signal led them to a small, battered ship caught in the gravity well of a dying star. Executing a daring rescue, Jack maneuvered the Nebula Wanderer close enough to extend a tow line. Aboard the distressed ship were 2 Luitenians, a species known for their engineering prowess and distrust of the Central Galactic authorities. Grateful for the rescue, the Luitenians, named Firo and Mela, quickly pledged their support after hearing Alara's story. Firo, with his deep knowledge of starship mechanics, offered to repair and upgrade the Nebula Wanderer, while Mela, skilled in cyber warfare, started fortifying their digital defenses. With the ship restored and now more robust than ever, the unlikely crew set course for the Maelstrom Nebula. Upon arrival, they were greeted by a sprawling mass of ships and floating platforms, a testament to the ingenuity and resilience of those who called the nebula home. They docked at Haven 7, a massive station known for its neutrality and bustling marketplaces. Jack and Alara, accompanied by Firo and Mela, navigated through crowded alleys and overpopulated bazaars, meeting with various faction leaders and influential figures. One such leader was Alara, a wise and powerful figure who led the Maelstrom Coalition, a loose alliance of factions united in their desire for freedom from the oppressive Galactic Council. Sensing the importance of Alara's mission and the potential of the ancient Altarian technology, Alara agreed to provide sanctuary and support. However, securing this alliance came with its own set of challenges. The Coalition was under constant threat from Council spies and rival factions. Jack and his team needed to prove their worth. Their chance came sooner than expected when a Council warship blockaded Haven 7, demanding the handover of what they called fugitives and stolen technology. Jack, Alara, and their new allies devised a plan to break the blockade without a full-scale battle, which would risk the lives of thousands of innocents. Using a combination of Mela's hacking skills to disrupt the warship's shields and Firo's newly installed stealth tech on the Nebula Wanderer, they launched a surprise attack. Alara and Alara coordinated the Coalition's fighters, weaving through enemy lines in a display of tactical prowess that left the Council warship vulnerable. The blockade was broken with minimal casualties, and the Council was forced to retreat, underestimating the resolve and resources of the Maelstrom Coalition. This victory solidified Jack's standing among the rebels, and news of their success spread through the nebula, drawing more factions into Alara's fold. With newfound allies and a base of operations, Jack and Alara prepared for the next phase of their mission, to not only protect the Altarian technology, but to challenge the Council's dominance, sparking hope for a new order in the galaxy. With the blockade lifted, the atmosphere within Haven 7 shifted from one of cautious optimism to bold planning. Jack, Alara, and their coalition prepared for inevitable retaliation. The Galactic Council would not sit idly by after such a public defeat. A more significant assault was certain. Their preparations involved both strengthening Haven 7's defenses and forging further alliances across the nebula. Fyro and Mela worked tirelessly, upgrading the station's defensive systems with advanced technologies from the Altarian Vault, integrating them seamlessly with the existing infrastructure. Meanwhile, Jack and Alara focused on diplomatic efforts. They reached out to neighboring systems, using the victory as a testament to their strength and the potential for a united front against the Council. Alara's heritage and the mythical allure of her people's technology proved persuasive, drawing curious and sympathetic factions to their cause. As they built their alliance, an encrypted transmission interrupted their progress. The message was from an anonymous source within the Council itself, offering crucial intelligence. The Council was amassing a formidable fleet, intending not only to crush the rebellion, but also to capture the Altarian technology and use it to enforce unrivaled dominion over the galaxy. The gravity of the situation galvanized the coalition. They accelerated their preparations, fortifying every possible weakness and strategizing over countless simulations. Alara convened a council of war, bringing together the best military minds the nebula had to offer. The strategy was multifaceted. Jack proposed a series of feints and guerrilla attacks to disrupt the Council's supply lines and draw parts of the fleet away from the main force. Alara suggested using her people's holographic technology to create phantom fleets, adding confusion to their tactics. As the Council's armada approached, the nebula bristled with silent tension. The first skirmishes were intense, testing the resolve and readiness of Jack's coalition. The Nebula Wanderer, now a symbol of the rebellion, led several critical strikes, sowing chaos in the Council's meticulously ordered ranks. During one such skirmish, a Council cruiser was captured, and its officers interrogated. The intelligence gathered revealed a planned convergence point for the Council fleet, aiming to surround and besiege Haven 7. Armed with this knowledge, Alara and Jack orchestrated a daring counter-strategy. They would meet the Council at the convergence point, but split their forces to attack from multiple angles, using the nebula's dense gases and electromagnetic anomalies to their advantage. The battle was fierce and unforgiving. Energy blasts lit up the nebula as ships darted through clouds of charged particles, the Nebula Wanderer and its allies cutting through the Council's formations. Alara, aboard the flagship, directed their forces with precision, her calm voice a steady presence over the comms. The turning point came when Jack led a squad through a narrow asteroid field to flank the Council's flagship. With precise maneuvers and the cover of tumbling rocks, they disabled the flagship's main reactor, sending it adrift. The Council's resolve wavered, their formations breaking as the reality of their flagship's fall spread through their ranks. Seizing the moment, Alara's forces pushed forward, the coalition rallying with renewed vigor. As the remnants of the Council's fleet retreated, the victory was clear but not without cost. Many had fallen, and the toll of the battle was evident on every face. Yet this victory was a decisive moment in the rebellion, proving that the Council could be challenged, their seemingly indomitable will broken. With the nebula now a beacon of resistance, Jack, Alara, and their allies faced the future with determination, knowing that their fight was not just for their survival, but for the freedom of the entire galaxy. In the aftermath of the decisive battle, the Maelstrom Nebula became a symbol of hope across the galaxy. Word of the Council's defeat spread like wildfire, igniting uprisings and rebellions on countless worlds. The coalition, under the leadership of Alara and with Jack and Alara at its heart, prepared to transition from a force of resistance to a governing body that would reshape the galaxy's political landscape. Amid the ruins of old conflicts, reconstruction began. The Nebula Wanderer served not only as a warship, but as a vessel of diplomacy, ferrying envoys between emerging alliances and recovering worlds. Jack, whose life had once revolved around solitary exploration, found himself at the center of monumental negotiations, his insights and experiences shaping new treaties. Alara, too, embraced her role as the bridge between her ancient heritage and the future of the galaxy. She worked tirelessly to ensure that the Altarian technologies, once used to maintain peace and balance within her own civilization, were integrated responsibly into the new galactic framework. Her voice became essential in debates on technology ethics, advocating for regulations that would prevent misuse and ensure the welfare of all species. Meanwhile, Firo and Mela took on the task of rebuilding Haven 7 into a hub of innovation and learning. Their vision was to create a place where knowledge from all corners of the galaxy could be shared freely, fostering a new era of technological advancement and cooperation. They established research labs, training centers, and a grand library housing knowledge from both fallen and thriving cultures. The challenges were immense. Many worlds, long suppressed under the Council's rule, were scarred by war and mistrust. The Coalition had to navigate complex political landscapes, mediate conflicts, and build trust where it had long been eroded. Jack and Alara often found themselves mediating heated disputes, their commitment to peace tested but never wavering. As peace slowly took root, Jack and Alara's bond deepened, transcending the initial obligation that had brought them together. It evolved into a partnership built on mutual respect and love, a symbol of the unity that was possible between disparate peoples. Their relationship inspired many, becoming a tale told throughout the galaxy as an example of the harmony that could exist between different species. The annual gathering of the new Galactic Assembly was the culmination of their efforts. Representatives from hundreds of systems, including human colonies, alien civilizations, and free territories, met on the neutral grounds of Haven 7. Jack stood beside Alara and Alara as they addressed the assembly, proposing the foundation of a new galactic constitution that would ensure freedom, justice, and cooperation among the stars. The Constitution was ratified with overwhelming support, marking the birth of the United Galactic Coalition. The celebration that followed filled Haven 7 with music and lights, species from across the galaxy sharing their joy and cultures with one another, a mosaic of life united under a common cause. In the quiet moments of the celebration, Jack and Alara stood together, looking out at the sea of diverse beings brought together by shared ideals. They reflected on their unexpected journey, from the cold depths of space and the brink of extinction to the heart of a newfound alliance. As they faced the dawn of this new era, the challenges ahead were clear, but so was their resolve. Together with their allies, they would build a galaxy where freedom and peace were not just aspirations, but realities. The stars, once mere points of light in the vast void, now shone as beacons of hope for all they encompassed.